In this video, we're going to break down the truth of local SEO in 2026, and this is what Google actually wants to rank you in the top 3 in map packs. So stay tuned to the end of this video because I'm going to release some sauce. So most local businesses have been lied to about SEO, and here's what Google actually awards. So I want to cover a couple of myths in terms of Google Business Profile Management that a lot of SEOs are probably getting wrong, and a lot of local businesses are being impacted just because of these myths. Number 1 is keyword stuffing. So cramming keywords into your website no longer works. We're no longer in the 2000s where you could basically keep saying roof insulation on your website 100 times and you'll rank number 1. This no longer works because Google's AI is very, very powerful. It could see if you're keyword cramming or not. It has to be contextual and it has to actually provide value to a reader, or else your site won't even get indexed. Number 2 is they will detect and penalize over optimization. Just like I said before, if you keep keyword cramming all of your sites, all your blog posts, and on Google Business Profile, you will be penalized, your site will get de-indexed, and then your profile won't show as high. So the fix for this is basically write naturally for humans, and Google will follow. Even though back in the day, they used to just keyword cram and then turn that into white text so nobody could see it as a human, and then still send signals back to Google that you do roof insulation 100 times on your site. This no longer works because Google knows everything in terms of the Google rankings, and if you do this, you will be penalized. Number 2, every SEO agency always talks about getting more reviews. This is important, however, this is not the full truth. Number 1 is reviews alone won't rank you. One thing is recency and response rates both matter. So if you're not responding to your reviews on Google Business Profile, Google's going to assume that you're not a business that's actually active. So how are they going to treat businesses that are inactive? They're not going to rank you as high because you might be showing as open. However, if you're not posting, you're not getting more reviews, you're not responding to your reviews, you're not uploading any photos, Google is just going to assume that maybe you went out of business. However, your Google Business Profile is just still marked as open. So the fix to this is you need consistent review velocity plus reply to every single one, thanking them for the review. Whether it's a 1-star all the way to 5 stars, you need to reply to every single one. Because even as a consumer, if you see a 1-star review, you want to see how the company was and how did they address it, even when a customer had a bad experience. Did they ignore the review or did they actually respond to the customer and try to fix that problem? If they're trying to fix that problem, that 1-star review might actually convert you into being a customer one day. And then review velocity, basically Google takes a look at the past reviews and whether you have the service and the city in those reviews for the past 30 to 90 days. If you're able to beat out your competitors, even if they have thousands of reviews from a couple years back, just in the past 90 days in terms of review velocity and also SEO friendly reviews, you're going to outrank them as well. Number 3 is Google Ads beats SEO. So the one thing with Google Ads is ads stop working whenever you stop paying. And if you're never able to build up that organic flywheel of referrals and actually ranking on Google, you're having to rely on platforms where every single year the ad costs have risen across every single platform because it's gotten more and more competitive to capture the same amount of eyeballs. When this happens, one year you might be profitable with ads, the next year you might not be profitable, and you never invested in your SEO. So what's going to happen is slowly your profit margins will diminish year after year because you never did anything about your SEO. And organic trust beats paid placement for local searches. How many times have you searched up a restaurant near you or a plumber near you and you never click on the sponsored listing? Most consumers think like that. I'll say probably 60-70% of consumers, they go straight to the organic listings and they click on those. So even from a psychological stance, you don't want to be pitched to. You want to show the actual rankings and of the people that deserve it. So if you constantly optimize only for ads, you're not going to have enough bandwidth to actually rank organically and actually have people click on your profile. So if you're a local business and you want us to handle all of the Google Business Profile Management for your local business, actually rank you number 1 on Google Map Pack and also AI, click a link in the description. You could go ahead and book a call with me or one of my team members. If you're an agency and want to white label and provide Google Business Profile Management on autopilot for your clients, you could go ahead, click a link in the description as well and white label our tool. Now back to the video. So in order to combat this, you basically need to build up organic presence that compounds over time. As long as you have a very optimized profile, you're going to get calls, you're going to get direction requests if you're a restaurant or if you have a brick and mortar store, and you're going to get clicks to a website. You're going to generate a lot more revenue just by having that organic presence. However, if you were to run ads, I would highly recommend doing Google LSA ads. And not a lot of people know about this, but but basically you pay per call on Google LSA ads instead of paying every single click. And you're able to rate the leads, whether it was a good lead or a bad lead, and give feedback back to Google on what type of leads to actually send you. However, Google LSA ads will be highly dependent on how high converting your Google business profile is. So if you have a good Google business profile, chances are you'll get a lot more leads that way. Now let's get into what Google actually wants. So number one is going to be relevance. Your profile matches the searcher. Google's not going to show your roofing company to somebody that's searching up plumbing near me. So you need to make sure that your Google business profile is completely filled out with all the services that you have listed. Make sure you add 40 or 50 different custom listed services on your profile for all of the things that you offer to a homeowner. If you don't do that, Google has no idea what you actually do for your company. Number two is basically trust signals. So citations, which isn't a huge role in 2026. It used to be very important back then, and especially for your website. However, Google Business Profile in the top tier map pack doesn't care about citations too much. It cares more about consistency in terms of your profile actually being managed, and then also reviews and review velocity, because that's essentially just crowdsourcing what other people are saying about your local business. And that's the one thing that shows up in AI overview search, AI search engines, also on Google Map Pack. Next, the last thing is basically activity. So like I mentioned before, if you don't show that you're active to Google, Google's going to assume that your business closed down or you're no longer in business. So you need regular posts, you need updates, you need to respond to every single reply. You need to constantly post photos on your Google business profile to actually show that you're an active company. So I hope you got some sauce out of this video. If you like this video, go ahead and like and subscribe, or comment down below if you have any questions. And I'll go ahead and attach some resources for agencies and also local businesses in the description, so you could go ahead and check that out. And I'll catch you in the next video.